What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So after a bit of fobbing around and fiddling with this damn thing, there it is. It's on. And I don't know if you guys can see that. This is actually not on here because they didn't send me the damn screw that goes with it. But nonetheless, it's on there. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but you guys notice something? The gap is gone. You're probably wondering how I did that. Well, how I did that was this back plate is actually about, this thick. So I was able to shave it down on the back, 1/4 of an inch circle, perfectly rounded off, perfectly circled, and the piece that comes off the engine fit right in there, allowed the back plate to slide back, and perfect, man. I don't usually toot my own horn, but I'm a pretty good engineer. I mean, and I actually no BS. I did it freehand with the Dremel, and as you guys can see, it is actually perfect. I Dremeled it out, and it is perfect. Now, one thing that I did notice after putting the back plate and spinner on is that the engine here, I did mount it about 1/8 of an inch low. And as you can see, there's about 1/8 of an inch sticking up right here. But the sides are perfect, right on. So I'm not sweating it. I'm not sweating it. I mean, for my first engine, my first plane, big plane like this, I'm quite satisfied at the ingenuity that I've used to get this thing buttoned up. I did get all 4 screws are in. That was a pain in the ass, by the way. And I got that center nut on there, and it's just sitting there waiting until we get the bolt to go through and to hold that spinner on. I'm kind of looking at it, and this prop that's on here, this prop is only to break in the engine. This prop is not going to be on the plane when we fly it. It's only for the break-in process on the plane. It's actually not even big enough to be the prop that's going to be on here. The prop that actually goes to the plane is actually a bit bigger than this. But recommendations were to use a smaller prop to break the engine in. Cool. So we're going to break the engine in with this prop, and then this one's getting yanked off, and a badass carbon fiber. It's still going to be a Zor, but it's going to be a carbon fiber Zor, and it's got a bit more of a pitch to it. So yeah, guys, we have turned a kit. Like just months ago, we had a kit full of parts, and within the last 2.5, 3 months, we have turned that kit full of parts and a significant amount of money and time into this beautiful plane. I mean, honestly, guys, it's so pretty, I don't even want to fly it. But obviously, we're going to fly it.
And then you took care of the eBay.
Yeah. Yep. So, I actually, it just kind of worked out that I had to go stop by my wife's parents' house, and I get my packages delivered there, because where I live, in my apartment, if you get packages around here, you better be out there waiting for them, because if you're not getting your package, and someone else is going to enjoy your package.
Your buddy wearing your shirt.
I actually would have loved for someone to have gotten this package, though, because it would have just been completely like, oh, God, look, I got a package, man. And they get it inside, and they're like, I bet you it would have taken them at least a half hour to maybe 2 hours to even figure out what the fuck it was. So, yeah. Love to be a fly on the wall when something like that happens. But yeah, guys, so this is where we're at with the plane. I'm not putting anything more into it right now. I'm going to put the decals on it. We're going to get this thing ironed out, get some of these wrinkles out of her. And the only thing that I see myself doing in the near future to this thing is possibly upgrading those wheels. The Dubro wheels aren't that bad. I mean, they look okay, but this thing really just looks so gosh darn good with those aluminum alloy wheels, the rubber wheels. But these are good enough for now. They'll do. And when I get that carbon fiber prop put on there, that's just going to look sick. It's going to look sick. I was thinking about painting the prop or the spinner and backplate and stuff like that. I was thinking about doing that, but then I was like, no, it kind of looks dorky now, but once I get that black carbon fiber prop with the yellow emblems on it, Zora emblems on it, it is going to make this thing pop. I might just go around the tip here and do maybe some yellow or some red just around the tip, nice and even around the tip, and maybe a little bit just on the back plate right on the edge here, maybe some red and do some yellow on the tip, or yellow here, or yeah, vice versa, just to give it a little bit of color. But we'll see what it looks like once I get that carbon fiber prop put on there. If it looks mean the way it looks, I'm not going to touch it. I mean, this thing's got a lot of black in it. It's got black stripes. It's got a blacked out cockpit, black stripes on the tail, black spinner. And once the prop's on there, it's going to look sick. It's going to look sick. The wooden one looks kind of funny on there right now, but it's all good. All good in the hood. All good in the hood. That's it, guys. That's all I got for you. Now it's just getting some fuel in this bitch. Well, first we got to go get that. We got to go get that bolt, and then once we get the little pump, the hand crank pump thing there, we're going to take this bitch out. I'm going to take the wingtips off. There's no need of them for them to stay on while we're in here. That's the reason I bought this plane, so that way I can break it down and still have a plane that's sitting on its retracts. So I take those wingtips off, and I still have a plane that's able to sit down on its retracts and sit the way the plane's supposed to sit. It's actually a brilliant design. I don't know why most of these models that are out there aren't more like this. It's just a great design. I was sold on it immediately when I watched the demo video of this plane. But one thing I have to say, man, is this plane is much bigger in person than it looks on the videos. The videos do this plane no justice. I mean, this plane. I mean, look, I can't even get it all in frame. 7 feet from wingtip to wingtip. You go get a tape measure and you roll out set a little more than 7 feet of tape, and that'll tell you just how big and wide this thing is. It's got 5-inch wheels, 5.5-inch spinner and prop. I mean, I believe that this prop right here is a 23 something or whatnot. Yeah, it's a 23 by 8. It's a 23 by 8, 16, 12. The one that has to go on here is like a 24 by 10. So 24 by 10 is the prop that actually is going to go on this thing after the break-in. It's going to have a 24 by 10 prop on there. And it's going to be carbon fiber. That's it, guys. Just a quick video showing you how I got it on there, how I closed that gap up. Just used a little bit of my brain. I guess I do have, I have some brain cells left up there after all. I wasn't confident until I got towards the very end, and it fit in there nice and snug. All the screws went in. We were having a problem with one. My buddy come over here. Tim came over here. We started shaking the shit out of that prop, and I'll be damned if she didn't grab some threads and screw in. I'll be damned. So that's all I got for you guys. Go For all you guys that don't have a Hangar 9 P-51 giant scale or a P-50 or a P-47 giant scale, you guys are missing out. You guys are missing out. Now, you're not missing out when it comes to the labor that you have to put into it, but once the labor's all done and you're sitting here and you're looking at your hard work in front of you, it's so gratifying. It's not like putting a foamy together or putting a Dynam plane together. This took some real talent and skill and ingenuity and a lot of stress and a lot of bullshit. Tim coming over here and fucking with me every day. He wouldn't leave me alone. I couldn't get shit done. You know? No, I'm just kidding. It came out really good, guys. I'm really impressed with the way it came out. It looks really nice. Thank you to everybody that's been watching this build from day one till now. We're done, you guys. It is done. It is finished. Everything's ready to go. We just got to put fuel in it. And I have to finish putting this cowl on the bottom. Got to screw it in, make some holes and screw it in. And then I have my control arm over there. All the linkages are already put on. We just got to put the control arm on. Super easy. No big deal. We can get that done in like no time. But
See you in the air.
yeah, right. See you in the air, baby. So what I'm going to probably do is I'm going to pack it all up and I'm going to take it over to my flying field, not the AMA field. I'm going to take it to my flying field first. And I'm just going to put it through its paces over there, like just, taxiing it around. There's a big elaborate process to breaking this engine in. And it consists of pretty much running 2 full tanks of fuel right through it. Revving it out like halfway for a certain amount of time, then 3/4 of the way for a certain amount of time, then down on low for a certain amount of time. There's a sequence of throttle positions you have to have this thing in for a certain amount of time each time, and that's going to accumulate to about 2.5 tanks of fuel. So I'm ready. I know you guys are ready. I know you guys are ready to hear this thing start up. I am stoked. I cannot wait. I'm really excited. The more I'm looking at the plane, the more I'm really grasping the overall size of this thing. And this engine on the front of this plane is a piece of cake. No problem. This plane is that engine compared to some of the engines I've been seeing on these planes and on other people's planes that have the same plane as this. This one's actually lighter than most of the ones that they're using. So I'm not at all worried. We are going to have to add some tail weight, but like I said, that's no big deal. I've had to add tail weight to some of my other planes as well. I've had to add nose weight. I had to add nose weight to that little 64 MiG over there, 64 mil MiG. Had to add nose weight to that. Had to add a little bit of nose weight to that Sabre. We did have to add tail weight to one of the planes. I can't remember which one it was. Oh, I'm not sure which one it was. I know we had to add tail weight to one of the planes. I can't remember. Oh, that stupid PACFA. That thing, yeah, for whatever reason, I just couldn't get the CG right on that thing for the longest time. And then I put a little bit of tail weight into her, and boom, she is perfect. But she's sitting in the room in a couple of pieces right now. Not bad pieces. They just split down the seam. But I'm going to end up giving that away as a giveaway. Not as the main giveaway that I do, but I'm going to be giving that airframe away, minus the electronics, but just the airframe, which is actually still in really good condition. It may just need some touch-up paint. But yeah, guys, that's it. I'm Dave. This is Dave's RC. Wow. Super exciting. Super exciting. It is an accomplishment, man. You're right, Tim. It is an accomplishment. A fucking damn pleasing accomplishment. I'm fucking totally proud of myself. I thought this thing was going to be... I was going to be working on this thing until, next summer, for Christ's sakes. But I fucking buckled down a few nights and just fucking really started knocking some shit out and getting things done. If you can actually sit down and take a whole night... I pulled, you guys already know, I did my blogs. I did blogs all the way through this whole build. You guys know. Count them. Go back and watch the videos and count how many overnighters did I do. Where I made a blog the next day and I'm like, I just did another overnighter, or I just pulled an overnighter again. Probably like 2 or 3 full solid overnighters. So They said it was going to take like 30 plus hours. And I've got at least that, if not more, into it. Putting that engine in and carving that out and customizing that front, that shit, that took like 5 hours just by itself because of the way the engine mount is designed and the way the engine has to go in the plane, because it's not like you can just take these little winglets off here, the front of this off, and then put it in. No, you have to actually stick it up in there and push it back, then bolt it in. So you have to make sure it's lined up pretty damn perfect before you start bolting everything down. So it was a little bit of precision with putting that engine in, and I have to say, for my first one, I got it pretty good. I'm only 1/8 of an inch off. 1/8 of an inch. I'll do 1/8 of an inch all fucking day long for my first plane. But yeah, guys, the next video that we probably make of this, it's gonna be probably either Kyle or Tim or somebody videotaping me hauling this thing out of the fucking house and putting the wings in the wing bags and throwing her in the back of the truck, getting her over to my flying field where I feel most comfortable, and just putting her through her paces. Who knows? I might feel froggy. I might feel froggy, and I might launch this bitch straight off. I might just go for it. If I feel comfortable and I feel like shit, man, I get that feeling sometimes. I did it with the Freewing 262 and with the F-14. I had no intentions of flying the plane that day, and I was like, screw it. Gone, man. F-14 flew like a charm. Freewing 262 flew like a charm. I couldn't ask for any better flights. But sometimes that's the best time to fly. That's the best time to just go for it, is when you go to the field and you're not planning on flying, and then all of a sudden you get the opportunity to just go, and you just go. And I've had some of my best flights doing that. So that's it, guys. I'm Dave. This is Dave's RC. Peace.